What is going on? This is Laserbolt from GamerFuzion.com, and today I bring you 6 things you need to know about the new DualShock controller for the PlayStation 4. Yes, it's going to be 6 things that you cannot live without, that you need to know before you actually decide to purchase a PS4 or not. So let's get right into them. Alright, so one of the first things you want to be sure to know before you actually get your PS4 or anything like that is that the front display is going to be a major part of the actual controller itself. It's actually going to be a front display that measures about 162 millimeters long and 52 millimeters in width, and this is going to serve as a 2-point touchpad. What that means is, if you recall, the Vita had this thing where you were able to control it from the front and also touch it from the back side. This controller is going to actually have that same option and same feature, which could be a great addition for different types of games. But it also is going to serve as kind of like a mouse pad. Say you want to surf the web, on your PS4, you're going to be able to do so with the actual controller, either using your finger or maybe a stylus, to use that on the actual pad itself. So it's going to serve well when playing PC ported games such as Diablo 3. Alright, so number 2, one of the most discussed and most talked about things of the actual controller itself, apart from everything else, has been the infamous share button. What is the infamous share button doing in a PS3 controller, you may ask? Well, they've added this for you to be able to share all sorts of different type of stuff. You can share your achievements, you can share pictures, you can share almost everything from your PS4. You can share just by pressing this button. They've added this so you say you're gonna be playing a game and you want to share like 10 minutes of the actual gameplay. You click that button and it allows you to share that to any social network, but primarily Facebook, as Twitter has wasn't even announced as part of a share option within the press conference that PS4 did. Now, due to this, they had to sidetrack recently. Sony sidetracked because they said that you're not going to be able to share any content that you want. It's only going to be content that the actual publisher of the game wants you to share, which is pretty much a letdown, because what's the whole point of the share button if you can't share what you want? You have to share what the what Sony or what the publisher wants you to share. How about if you want to share something and it's not going to let you share? So what's the point of having the share button? Alright, so number 3, another thing that caught us kind of off guard was the exclusion of the actual start and select button. That has been completely removed from the actual controller itself. No more start and select button. It has been replaced by the options button. Now, I think this was a great move, because with that many buttons and all the functionality the controller already has within itself, adding the start and select button would have kind of been a big drag on itself. Now you have the option button, which will allow you to select and start at the same time, or vice versa. Number 4 is the inclusion of the actual speaker in front of your controller. So you're going to have this speaker pumping sound, kind of like what the Wii does right now currently in the palm of your hands. Plus they added the option to have an additional headphone jack in case you want to put your headphones instead of having the actual speaker within the controller pumping out that sound. What we think about this is that Microsoft and Nintendo have been doing this for quite some years now, and I'm kind of glad that now Sony has actually taken the time to look at their competitors, see what it's working, and implement that in their actual controller itself. Alright, number 5 is the one we're actually very excited about and really happy that they've actually decided to change the analog sticks, the L2 and the R2 trigger. I'm pretty sure some of you remember, if you place this controller down, a grenade will go off automatically while you're playing the game. And I'm glad they redesigned these actual, the trigger buttons. As even additional equipment had to be purchased to get the right feel and the right type of sensitivity and type of thing to get your controller to work perfectly, so you could get your triggers correctly. Well, Sony went ahead and they went back to the board, based on some feedback they got from Guerrilla Games, and they actually changed the actual, the way layout of the way the triggers work. So we're very excited that the new triggers are very functional and they work absolutely great and will be a great addition for the PS4. Alright, number 6 is the actual inclusion of the light bar that's going to be in the front of the controller itself. It's going to be blue from starters, but a lot of publishers have said that they're going to be using this incentively. One that stands out is Killzone, that said that they would be using this as a part of a way for you to know when you actually need to reload your gun in Killzone. And this actually brings a lot of interesting points, because if you recall, the PS4i, which is kind of like the Kinect sensor, will be able to track your motion and know exactly where you are positioned within the room by tracking this blue light. So it's going to kind of be like a Kinect, and it's going to be kind of like, like the Move Eye. within the controller itself. So it brings in some interesting concepts that we would like to see what the game developers come up with, and with the inclusion of this light bar in front of the actual controller itself. This has been LaserBolt bringing you an in-depth look at the DualShock 4 controller for the PlayStation 4. Don't forget to stay tuned to GamerFuzion HD for all the latest PS4 news, and we will be bringing you another part 2 of this episode, bringing you all the what you need to know about the complete specs of the PlayStation 4 as we get ready for the next gen PS4.